My name is Tarek Bayaa. I'm a co-founder at Bayzat. Bayzat's a technology company that provides insurance and HR solutions. Since starting in 2015, we've raised over $31 million of funding from regional and international VCs. Today, we're about 200 employees. We have 1,000 small and medium enterprises that we service within the UAE. We started the Endeavor process in 2016, and after getting rejected twice, we got short-selected and became Endeavor Entrepreneurs in 2019 as part of the Tokyo International Selection Panel. So as we thought about scaling the organization, one of the biggest things an entrepreneur really needs to focus on is people. It's the biggest challenge in terms of building a company and building the right culture. From Bayzat's perspective, our 10th hire was an HR person. We really understood the challenges that were ahead. Some entrepreneurs and VCs thought we were crazy to do so, but in the end, it's paid off. As we thought about really focusing on how to build an organization, I'd say there's three main takeaways for us. One is, how do you scale the people you work with? Two, how do you align them towards your vision? And then three, how do you continue to motivate them and drive them as you continue to grow? In terms of really focusing on aligning the team across a vision and really focusing on how do you make sure the ship's moving in the right direction. As the company grows, you do want to encourage decentralized decision making. You do want to encourage people to be empowered to make the right calls as and when they see fit. But in order to make sure that everything is going in the same direction, it's really important to continue to align the vision across the company. Most studies show that leaders under-communicate their vision and direction by a factor of 10. So what that really meant for us is communicate, and when you think you're done communicating, communicate even more and more. And really, you've done a job well when people at the lowest part of the organization are saying what you're saying. And once you start hearing that on a repetitive basis, it's mission accomplished. And within vision, you really have to focus on one or two things. Trying to throw too many things that are the themes or the too many things that really you want to drive home ends up diluting your message. So focus on one or two key things and continue to repeat until you feel like you've said it enough, and then repeat it a little bit more. In terms of scaling people, for us, the biggest thing here was really focused on giving the right feedback. So the person you hire to lead your technology team, for example, or your sales team, when you're a company of 10 or 12 people, requires a very different skill set when you're at 200 people. That doesn't mean the people that are in place can't rise to the challenge or rise to the occasion, but in order to make sure that that happens, you really have to focus on giving continuous feedback. And the way we approached it from the early days is really focusing on how do we give feedback to help a person improve and develop, but then at what point does the feedback and the person's lack of improvement turn into what we called feedback for survival? And as long as there's open and transparent communication around feedback, people aren't really surprised if they don't make the cut as the company scales. But on the flip side, people really appreciate the feedback you're giving if you pair that with coaching and allow them to scale their skill set as and when the company grows. And in terms of scaling people, one of the Endeavor mentors really told us to think about how we develop and coach the top 10, top 20% of the organization, because those are really the people who are going to help drive the company forward long term. And we really took that to heart. We developed what we called our lead training program, which allowed us to take the leaders of tomorrow at a very early stage and develop them into leaders of today. And the way we were able to do that was focus a lot on helping coach and build core competencies that we thought they would need to one day drive the company forward. So that was a really big takeaway for us, really focusing on the top 20% of performers, regardless of where they are in the organization, and helping nurture, grow them, and coach them. One of the key learnings for us was really focused around how do you motivate and drive people as you continue to grow. A startup is a marathon. It's not a sprint, but the reality is you're sprinting throughout the marathon to get to the finish line. And really making sure that you continue to motivate your team is very critical. And one of the biggest learnings for us is really motivating on a per person basis is the most effective way to drive output and drive growth. Doing things that are blanket statements like having smoothies or having massages across the office kind of build a little bit of morale, but those aren't really things that drive motivation. You really need to understand on a per person basis what drives them. You need to understand where they are in terms of their burnout and really adapt your approach to each person. One of the most effective ways to make sure that you motivate and align a person is through having ESOP programs, so an employee stock option program, and giving those generously wherever you see fit. The reality is your top 10%, 20% of people that are with you, you don't really want to lose. And focusing your energy and attention on ensuring those people are motivated and ensuring those people are aligned to where you're going is really going to drive your success. So in terms of growing your organization and your team as you scale, I'd say there was 3 main takeaways for us at Bayzat. The first is really putting a large focus and emphasis on scaling your people as your organization scales. The second was really ensuring that you align everyone towards the same vision and same direction, especially in a decentralized decision-making organization. And finally, ensuring that we motivated and drove people as we continue to grow at a very rapid pace.